What's up, everyone? Coach Silas Sham here from Absolute Soccer Strategic Player Development, and welcome back to another episode of TAC Tuesday, our weekly look at either a technical or tactical element of the game of soccer. This week, we're going to look at two exercises that I love to use whenever we're training first touch and decision making on the ball. If you're a defender, midfielder, or striker, all the skills we practice on the ball, shooting, passing, crossing, dribbling, all those skills are only possible in the game if we can control our first touch and if we take what the defense gives us and attack the space that is open. So these two exercises are going to show us how we can train these things in a game realistic situation. Let's take a look at these exercises. So the first exercise, you have players in yellow and then you have coaches in black. Everything starts when coach 1 with the ball says go and then points into a direction. In this case, they're pointing left. Notice the red arrow at the bottom. And that's letting the player know that as they're entering the grid and as the ball is getting played to them, they're going to be moving to the left side. The coach 1 also says a command, either red or yellow. And to start, this means that the player who enters the grid now is responding to the visual cue, I'm going left, and also to the verbal cue, I'm attacking and weaving through the red or yellow cones. They get to the end and they pass it back. Here's what it looks like.
Yeah, red. Yes, well done, Kate. Yes, go yellow. Well done, tight, good. Yeah, red. Oh, my God. Good. Well done. Head up, right, Timmy. Yes, Katie. Red. Yes, go.
As the players get more comfortable with this first exercise, we want to add a progression. So instead of having the players go through one time and just receive from coach 1, now after they finish the first set, they go through and receive a second ball from coach 2. And in this case, I'm serving them those awkward bouncers that are coming knee level, shin level, that they have to take out of the air and still respond and make something productive happen with the ball. So let's take a look at how this progression shows. So one of the things you're going to notice is that in the second progression, the second time the player goes through and receives the ball from me out of the air, their visual cue isn't coming from me. It's still coming from Coach Andy. And the reason why we do this is because we want the players to, one, be able to respond to visual cues in front of them, but also get in the habit of shoulder checking over their shoulder to see the visual cue from players behind them. And in doing this, we're trying to train both in this progression in this exercise. So here Izzy checks with Andy and then responds to the ball and goes this way. She actually checked there a little late, but still made a good play on the ball. Last progression, we've added 3 more commands. So instead of just weaving through red or yellow, now the 3 gaps that are created by the lines of cones are open for attack as well. So if we say left, then you go through the gap on the left side, or center or right. And now there's 5 commands each player needs to keep track of. Also, as they're coming through, they're shoulder checking every time. So as the player receives the ball from coach 1, they're shoulder checking to see which direction to go from coach 2 and vice versa. 2-shot progression and we go from there. So this is just another way to expand on the initial exercise.
Right.
So in this second exercise, we really want to focus on decision making. So player 1 starts at the yellow poles, they pull off slowly around the yellow cones, and then quickly explode past their defender to receive the ball from coach 1. They have to drive towards the 2 other yellow poles in front of them, and then pick a side to attack, either go through them or around them, based off what the 2 players who are in front of them between the 3 gates move to. So they're going to move to cover 2 gates, and that forces you to attack the space that's open. You'll see here what we mean. To start, we actually started with shuffles between the yellow and red cones just to get some extra fitness in. Any kind of agility work would be good to start this whole section with, but eventually we do want to move to the kind of movement where we're backing off our defender and then moving into the space that we've just created for ourselves. Again, here you're noticing that the players, after they do their footwork, they're challenged with the kind of ball that's being served to them. We're trying to get them to stretch and receive this ball at full stretch in stride and still control their touch. So here let's take a look at Katie. She does a shuffle through, ball gets hammered to her, good touch around, and now she makes a good decision off of the space that's open to her by Bo and myself. In this example, you're going to see the footwork we were talking about back off and now explode into space as you receive the ball and still make a good decision and a play on what is given to you by the defending team. So receiving the ball here and now going to the left side because the space is open. And this is just the kind of progression you want working here. You can change the kind of footwork and the kind of serves that they're receiving, but it's a very versatile drill to start working on. Just like the previous exercise, we can run this one backwards as well. So just like we were doing before, they go one direction, but now as they come back, they have to run towards the second pair of yellow poles, shake them off, control the ball, and now dribble through a tight space. Lots of control showcased there. Here she goes, receive, she finds the open space, pass off to the side, runs towards the defender, shakes them off, comes in, receives, and tight control through a short gap. So that about wraps up another episode of TAC Tuesday. One of the things that you can do to make this more challenging for yourself is to change the kind of serve you're receiving. So instead of balls being played on the ground to you, what if that ball's coming to your chest now? What if it's coming to the thigh? What if it's a high one you need to bring down off your first touch? All these things are going to help us become better players during the game. Because during the game, that perfect pass doesn't always come to us. Can we control the ball off our first touch? Can we have our head up? And can we make a good decision on the ball? This is how we'll become effective players on the field. So don't forget to like, to share, to subscribe. If you have any comments about this, any questions, just shoot a comment down below or DM me. And from Absolute Soccer, Strategic Player Development, I'm Coach Silas, signing out. I'll see you next week.